Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen, welcome back to Everest Harbour, and welcome back to us being in bed. So the first thing we're going to do is press and hold Y for Yankee on the keyboard, which gets us out of bed. And then we're going to go and press F for Foxtrot and left click on the door panel to get us out of our Easy Hab unit. We're going to ride the elevator back down to the lobby, and then we're going to go get a mission, because I thought one of the things we could do as we left click on the elevator panel is straight up get one of the basic missions, as if we've just joined the game for the first time when we need a bit of cash. And we also need to learn how to fly our spaceship, because we have things like box delivery missions, and box delivery missions do not pay that well, but they do pay. And because you are landing and picking up parcels from point to point, it does mean you get to learn how to fly your ship very quickly, or you hit the ground like you're trying to wipe out the dinosaurs and explode, one of the two. So in order to get missions, you press F1 on the keyboard, so that's Foxtrot 1 on the keyboard, which brings up your mobiGlas. That gives you your current balance, your health, and it also gives you your atmosphere and remaining oxygen. At the bottom, if you hover over the pencil and paper icon that says Contracts Manager, if you click on that, you will get all of your available missions at the side of the screen. So we have Delivery, Search, Research, Investigation, Racing, Salvage, Maintenance, Bounty Hunter, Mercenary, and Service Beacons. Some of it's a little clipped because we are wearing chunky armor. Interestingly, if you do click on Mercenary, if you hit up a call to arms and accept the offer and then do the mercenary contracts, that's going around on the ground shooting people with a gun, which you probably will need to buy as well, the call to arms will get you a little bit of extra cash. Bounty Hunter is flying around in space, but you will also need to do the training permit certification, which is 500 AUEC. But we're going to be doing a delivery mission. You can tell the delivery missions because they are a value equal to or a multiple of 3000 AUEC in game. And they're very simple. There'll be a package you need to pick up and then a delivery location. But you can get multiple packages. If you choose a multi-package route, don't worry about getting confused about which package goes where. Each of them are labeled with a hashtag and a little number, or a pound symbol and a little number. That little number will be on the box and the delivery location, and the pickup location for that matter. So we are going to choose just a very basic 3000 AUEC one. We're going to hit accept offer. Now, when you first log into the game and first turn up around a planet, you will only have one of these available, and it'll be a trial mission. It'll still pay 3000 AUEC, but you'll have to take that before the multiple routes are unlocked. So we're going to do that. We have one from Hurston to Ita, Anderson on Aberdeen and Hurston. Okay. I think we're going to do Hurston to Ita. Okay, so accept offer. And once we have accepted the offer, our delivery mission will appear in accepted contracts. So we need to go to HMDS Pinewood, and that is on Hurston, and then we will need to go to Ryder on Ita. Okay, so we can hit the cross in the corner, or we can just press F1. We do need to drink though, because we have the water droplet in the bottom left of the screen, and we did this last time, but I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to press I for inventory, so that's India, and I'm going to go and take my helmet off, because you can't drink or eat with your helmet on. I'm going to go grab some water, so I'm going to press F, and I'm going to go over the water and left click. Grab that water bottle, and then as soon as you move away, you have it. So I'm going to look down and just, there we go, have a little drink. So we are at 50% hydration. Food and water levels don't go down super fast, and that's brought us up to 99%, which is fine. If we look down at the bottle, press and hold F and hit place, we can go to the bin and place it in the bin. The reason you place instead of just drop or throw, it's just a little bit more reliable, especially around the physics in the game. Let's grab a burrito as well. So we'll quick buy the burrito, walk away, and we have a delicious burrito in our hand, so we'll left click and hold. There we go, we have munched down a burrito and we have slurped a little bit of water. I'm going to press I for India again and then remember to put on our helmet. There we go, because we are going to be going planet side. If we go to a moon and we don't have our helmet on, we're going to start taking damage and that's going to hurt. So press I. And we'll go and get our ship. So we go and find the ASOP terminals. If you're on a planet, if you're on a city, you might need to take a transit system, either a train or one of the buses to the spaceport. We're going to go for the 300I and hit retrieve. Hangar 2, okay. Very simple. So find an elevator. Call the elevator by pressing F, Foxtrot, and then clicking on the button. Elevator is called, but we can see that it's currently in Hangar 1. That's up in the lobby now, so we'll get in. And it was Hangar 2, so left click on Hangar 2. We can see our current mission on the top of the screen, which is fine. That's just going to sit there for a bit. And then we leave. Now there is an interesting thing. If we press F4, if you want to walk, just roll back on the mouse when you're on foot. And you will walk. So scroll up on the mouse and you'll run, hold shift and you'll sprint. But if you want for RP reasons or whatever to just walk, just roll back on the mouse and you can just amble if you need. It's going to press F4, so that's F4 to go into external view. And what we're going to do is hold F, click on enter ship on the door. Some ships have doors that can be opened, some ships have ramps, some ships have elevators. The ship is going to be dark for the time being on the inside because, well, we haven't turned it on yet. So we're going to look at the pilot seat. Press F and enter pilot seat. Then we're going to press R for Romeo, turn the ship on. And I'm going to press space, just give it a few taps to get us off the ground, so that if anyone follows us into the hangar at this point, they can't get into our ship. The other thing I'm also going to do is press N for November, bring the gear up, and then I'm going to press Alt and N again, so Alt and N for November, and that's going to contact ATC. Press Z for Zulu, and we can look up, because here the doors open above us, and that's nice. So we're very close to space here. If we're on a planet, you would have to fly out through the atmosphere before being able to quantum away. So tapping Z again brings us back into flight mode. So now the mouse moves around the center point of the screen, and that allows us to pitch and yaw. Q and E allows us to rotate. W allows us to move forward. S allows us to brake and eventually move backwards. And A and D allows us to slide. Spacebar allows us to go up, and Control allows us to go down. There is inertia and momentum, so there is resistance to being moved, and there is a resistance to slowing down as well. Now, on the left-hand side of the screen, if we roll the mouse wheel up, the little box on our velocity gauge goes all the way up, and if we scroll it down, it goes all the way down. That's our velocity. If we go all the way down, press W, we're not going to go anywhere. If I hold W and then roll that up by increments or incrementally, we're going to start moving forward. Until we get to the top of the blue bar, we'll be traveling just about 200 meters a second. If we were going to go super fast, just scroll it all the way up. But if you're navigating around a station, you probably want it down, say around 100 meters per second, especially when you get close. And then drop it down a little bit more when you are navigating around the hangar bays, so you don't just slam into anything. There is one extra button that you will need to know, and that's C for cruise control. So if I roll the mouse to where it's blue, press C, there's a little chevron with a line appeared next to our velocity, And now we are traveling at 191 meters a second. My hands are off the keyboard. And if I press F4 and then Z just puts us into free look. We're now flying over Everest Harbour. Flying away from Everest Harbour. Now there is shift, but if I press shift now, we will use our boost, but we won't go any faster because our velocity is locked. The thing about the boost button is that if we want to slow down, we can hold boost as well and as S, and that'll slow us down if we want to speed up. So it basically, the boost gets you to your desired velocity. So it's a boost to the velocity or it's a boost as you're slowing down. So if you hold down shift and S, you can brake very hard. And if you're in atmosphere, shift S and X. So shift S and X is your air brake, if you have air brakes. Anyway, we need to go somewhere, so we're going to press F4 to go back into the cockpit. We can see the package, so I press Z, so we get flight control back. So Z will give us mouse look if we wanted to look around the cockpit. That's Z for Zulu, as in NATO phonetic. We're going to press B for Bravo. That's going to allow our quantum drive to both spool up, and the calibration is going to calibrate on HDMS Pinewood, which is 1,811 kilometers away. As soon as spooling is complete, we can press and hold B for Bravo. Press and hold it. And that is going to go into external view. That is going to enable quantum, and quantum will fly us around the planet to within about 20 kilometers from our target. So sometimes you'll get to a planet and you can either use orbital markers in order to change location within orbit, or you can just head towards whichever is the main city on a planet. So I'm going to press F4 to get us back in. So usually the main city on a planet will allow you to fly directly towards it, even if everything else is obstructed by the planet itself. So that's just a thing worth noting. We're going to press B to turn everything off. The package is 21.3 kilometers away. What we're going to do is just tap Q just to rotate around, because we're currently flying upside down. It is night. We can turn the lights on, but they won't do much at the moment. It's L for Lima to turn the lights on, so I'll just tap that. So the lights are now on, but they're not illuminating anything because there's nothing to illuminate. I'm going to press C for Charlie to take us out of cruise control and hold W. And then I'm going to use the mouse wheel as I'm holding W to increase the velocity. And I'm going to watch the distance and also our altitude. We're currently at 6,000 meters and dropping, and 12k away. So as soon as we hit 10, I'm going to slow down by using the mouse wheel. I'm not going to rush in, I'm not going to come in hot. I'm going to try and do this properly. Because one of the first things that is going to happen is you'll jump into your ship when you're in the game and think, oh no, this control system is so weird. Eventually it does become muscle memory. You might slingshot past something a few times, but yeah, it will eventually become muscle memory. We've got the stars above us, which is nice. So we're at 5,000 meters away, so 4 kilometers, 4.6 kilometers and dropping. And what I'm going to do is press and hold F and roll my mouse wheel in. Yep, there is a base down there, so that's just a little zoom. So I'm just going to bring the throttle back. Cruise control is off. It's going to bring it back a lot. So at 2 kilometers, I'm just going to use the mouse just to increase and decrease thrust whilst holding W. If I want to slow down in emergency, I can hold down S, X and Shift, and that will stop us dead. So I can press N for November. Now, we have a building here. There's lots of buildings here, and it's night. What I want to do is I don't want to run around. So I'm just going to come in, scroll the mouse wheel down so our velocity is not too hot. I'm going to find the entrance to this place, which appears to be here on the front. I can press K for kilo. That's a VTOL mode. I don't think we need it on this particular ship, but there we go. And then I'm going to just tap shift, tap control even. So control is going to drop us down onto the floor. If we want to check our landing, we can press F4, and Z will unlink us from mouse control. If we try and pan around the ship and we don't press Z, the ship will try and turn because the engines are still on. But that's the door that we need, the red door. We have a spacesuit on and we have a helmet on. That's very important. So all we need to do is go back into our ship by pressing F4. We're still in mouse look mode, so we can press Z to turn that off. And then I'm going to press I for India just to turn my engines off. Then I'm going to press Y for Yankee to get myself out of the ship. That's a problem. The ship is now upside down. That shouldn't happen. I'm going to check that. Yes, we are in fact upside down. So we didn't explode, which is nice. Occasionally things like this do happen. The game is absolutely in alpha, which, well, we've got to sort this out now. We can do one of two things. We can either abandon our ship and call a friend on Discord and say, hey, anyone on, can you come pick me up? You can put an emergency beacon down to get a player to pick you up, which may or may not result in good times, or we can just go into our ship. So I'm going to press I.
Engines active.
Now we are upside down, so control is going to get us off the ground. We're still in VTOL mode, so what I'm going to do is use Q to rotate us gently, so just in case the wing hits anything. Then I'm going to use D just to shuffle us over, and I'm going to go forward a little, and then I'm going to put us down again. Not sure what that was. Press I for India, turn the engines off, press F4 just to make sure we are absolutely not touching anything. We are not touching anything. There is no collision on any physics object and ground mesh. Okay, fine. Press F4 to go back in. Press Y. And we are good. Okay. Sometimes things like that happen. It's just an effect of being in alpha. So press and hold F, exit the ship. I'm not going to wait for the ramp to come down, so I'm just going to drop. So the ladder comes down. If we were just to wait there, we would just automatically walk ourselves off of the ship. But we need a package. So we're going to come here. We're going to press and hold F, open the door. We are going to go to the airlock and press and hold F to cycle. Cycling the air. At this point, if you forgot to put your helmet on, you would have a lot less health, and you will be okay once you're inside. You could use health stims to stim you up, but we have a package here, so we're going to press and hold F and grab that. Some packages are very heavy, which will slow you down. This one, well, we jump anemically, but that's okay. Press and hold, and then just open the door. Some doors will open automatically when you get close. Some you actually have to push the button. So, cycle the air. Health stims or EpiPens can be got from medical facilities on stations. You buy them from the pharmacy. So press and hold F and enter the ship. Now I do have a cargo bay on this, but it's going to be a lot easier if we just walk into the ship with the package. And then walk to the back. If we look down and then press F, we have drop and place. Never use drop. You'll throw it through the side of your ship and everything will explode. So we'll hit place, and then we'll place the box on the ground. Now, if you were to do multiple stacked cargo runs, delivering boxes, each of these boxes would have their own hashtag. So this is hash 123483, or pound symbol. If you remember pound symbols, that's pound symbol 123483. So there you go. All we need to do is jump into our pilot seat. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is check where we need to go. So press F1 to access the mobiGlas. go back to the contracts manager at the bottom, and then hit accepted at the top. So we need to deliver this package to HDMS Rider on ITER. Well, that's fairly straightforward. If we hit Skyline at the bottom, what we can do is click on ITER. So the map is kind of terrible. Sometimes the planets just don't render. If you press F2 to close the map, and then press F2 again, press the target icon in the top right of the screen, and then you can scroll in. Right mouse button will allow you to pan, so we can left click on ITER and set route. Press F2 again to close the map. Okay, cool. Well, we'll press I for India, and then spacebar to get us off the ground. N for November brings up the gear. K for Kilo turns VTOL off because we're now going to just point ourselves up at the sky. Scroll the mouse wheel up. I'm just holding W rather than cruise controlling, and then I'm going to hold Shift and just give us a little boost, and that will get our velocity up. The velocity on the planet will drop slightly, even if you're holding W, because you're fighting against the gravity of the planet. Although this is Hurston, so we're going to need to go at least 10 kilometers up in order to quantum anywhere. Now we're going to have a couple of little icons on the left hand side of the screen. One of those is the target location. One of those is the box that is sat behind me. So I think the top one is the one that is the box that is sat behind me. So if I scroll back on the old velocity, and then can we see that as a location? Drop off package. Can I actually go straight to that? ITER is obstructed. Okay, so we're going to need possibly to find an orbital marker. Are they showing up? That's not an orbital marker. Orbital markers are listed as OM. Is there one here? OM5, there we go. So you might need to look around for a bit. The map is so terrible that these things don't actually appear on it. And unlike Elite Dangerous, you can't choose your destination from a list. So there is a little bit of looking around. It's not you. It's the game. We can also use the little green needle, and that's like a gun sight that will appear ahead of us. So that should tell us where we need to go. Unfortunately, I don't think it is. Where are we going? Oh, it wants us to go to OM3, but OM3 is kind of obscured, so we have to be very careful. There's a lot of stuff stacked there. If we make a mistake, we're going to be off to a different planet. So press B to go to OM3. So B for Bravo, tapping it brings quantum on and off, and pushing and hold enables quantum. So at the moment we're doing 0 meters a second. That's not a problem. I'm going to wait for spooling to happen and then press and hold B. So 108,765, yeah, it's about 10 seconds. So we could press F4 and see ourselves just skipping through quantum as everything unloads behind us, and then eventually we'll load in ahead. So the planet is disappearing. It's Hurston that we were currently on, or previously on. Hooray! So we're here, but where do we need to be? Drop off package. Okay, so quantum is already enabled. We're just waiting for that to spool up. Spooling and calibration. Calibration is not complete, so I'm going to turn the quantum drive off by tapping B for Bravo, tapping it again, and that's going to start calibration. Sometimes these things happen. Again, we're doing 0 meters a second, but it doesn't matter, we're in space. What are we not going to hit? Press and hold B once everything is spooled up and calibrated. I wonder, it looks like this might also be on the dark side of the planet. The planets do have a day and night cycle, so if we were to stand there long enough, we would see a sunrise. But the lights are on, so that's not too much of a problem. Okay, Press and hold W, scroll up. We are kind of rolling a bit. Press B to turn that off. There is some atmosphere here. Z, I'm just going to look up, see if I can get my bearings. I can. Ooh.
Contact.
Contact. That's not good. That's red chevron. Red chevron, I don't know if that's a player ship or an enemy ship. That could be... So, a white chevron is a ship that has nobody in it. We still got to land, so we still got to watch ourselves. A red chevron is an enemy ship, somebody who's going to hurt you. So I'm going to scroll back. Going to come in hot, I think. So we're doing 200 meters a second. Scrolling back again. I'm holding W and just scrolling back on the mouse wheel, just controlling our velocity that way. There's a lot of ships on the floor, an Aegis, Avenger, Titan. I think the white ones are abandoned ships. So, K for Kilo to turn the VTOL on, N for November to open our, drop our gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, so just bringing the velocity slider off the stop. Don't like that. Dropping down, dropping down, dropping down. Boop.
Landing.
Okay, landing's complete. I'm going to check and make sure we are, in fact, on the ground. We are, so that's just F4 to go into external view. Oh, there's a ship over there upside down. It looks... There's a couple of ships upside down. That does not... That's not a good omen. Okay, right. I for India. Turn the engines off. Y for Yankee. Press and hold. I think we should probably not dawdle. Grab the package. And then hit the door, so exit the ship. Don't wait for the ladder to come down. Where do we need to go? Package drop-off is there. So we're a little way from the door. But not too far. We'll open it by pressing the button. Cycle the airlock. So yeah, you can chain multiple missions together. The downside is you only get paid once the last package is delivered. So this is where you would normally deliver it. Sometimes I'd ask you to put it on a shelf. Don't talk to this guy because he's useless. But you will have two options here. Pick up and drop off. We're going to drop off by pressing F and clicking the drop off button. Wait for the door to open. Press F and then click on place. And then wait for the door to close. As soon as it closes, it'll complete the mission. Left bracket accepts, and we've just been awarded 3,000 AUEC. Nice. So that is a contract. That is all you need to do. So we're just going to open the door and see if we still got a ship left. Okay. We do. Curious, what is going on over there? We could have a little look. I don't think there's anyone coming for us. Temperature is negative 10 degrees Celsius. Oh, the Avenger's gone. Interesting. Okay. Got some rocks up in space. I think that... Oh, that's a galaxy. Yeah, somebody landed their galaxy upside down. That's a shame. Don't know where that Avenger went. I'm going to get back into my ship though, and I think I'm going to go back to Everest Harbour and then fuel up, because that is the best thing you can do. So, all we need to do is jump back into our ship. So we'll go around the back. You never go around the back. If there is a ship, or if your friend is in the ship and they punch the engines, you will get blasted backwards. So just keep that in mind. So I can press F and enter the ship. Now I'm going to go back to Everest Harbour, but we don't have a mission. With the places we've been so far, because they've been part of a mission, they've been fairly easy to get to. we're going to be needing to either use the main city or we're going to need to use orbital markers. So press I to bring the engines back on.
Engines active.
Space will just get us off the ground. End of November brings up the gear.
Landing gear raised.
Can we even see what's been going on over here? Not? Yeah, no, that's the landing gear of Hercules. I don't even know how much that ship would be if you were... It's about 5 million in game if you wanted to buy it. Okay, so we are just going to get out of here. We know that there's a red chevron in the area. So we'll scroll all the way up. And I'm going to press boost. Boost us away. We don't need to go so high because this is a moon rather than a planet. Press B. What have we got? We've got Everest Harbour there. Can we actually get to Everest Harbour from here? Let's see if we can get straight to the space station. That would be great. Press and hold B.
Quantum drive activated.
Excellent. Excellent. Hopefully that drops us where we need to be. So that is the mission completed, but one of the things you will need to do is refuel your quantum, which we haven't used a lot, so we probably won't need to. Definitely need to refuel your hydrogen. So,
Quantum drive
Everest Harbour.
activated.
And as before, what I'm going to do is just leave the quantum drive on so I can see how far away I am from... We actually dropped quite a fair distance away, over 30 kilometers. So we're going to come in hot, 489 meters a second. In fact, I'm going to come in a little faster. Aim for a bit of space station where there isn't space station, and at 20k, roll back on the old throttle. Okay, rolling back on the throttle. So we still have momentum, even though I'm not touching the controls anymore. We went from 20k to 14, so that was the distance we needed to slow down. Press B because we don't need that anymore. Now it's nice to see Everest Harbour in the light. At about 10k we should drop into the armistice zone, and then when we're close enough we should get the opportunity to contact ATC to land. So, and we'll need to land on one of these pylons. So we're coming in at under 200 meters a second. You can try and go in faster if you want. Contact ATC to the land, so Alt and N for November.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
That might take a while. If the server is under load, the landing bay might take 10-20 seconds to show up, sometimes longer. The blue chevron on our minimap, that is a player ship, it's blue. The white one is abandoned, so if we press F and scroll in, we know we need to be on the other side of this arm. So I am going to roll us around, and then I'm going to use a little bit of spacebar. So spacebar to bring us up and over the top, as well as W and a little bit of S. So we're sliding sideways, going forward and going up at the same time. Okay. Now I'm going to roll us, use S to slow down, and then use D to slide in sideways. There is apparently a way of auto landing, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We're not going to use VTOL here. Oh, there's a crashed ship ahead of us, just silhouetted against the planet. Press N for November to drop our landing gear. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of poke my nose against the, well, not touching, but kind of against the entrance, and then tap control to get us in, using the mouse to keep us level. Drop down, drop down, drop down, just tapping. There we go.
Landing
So press
complete.
U.
Pleasant stay.
U will turn the whole ship off. So U for uniform. F1 to bring up the mobiGlas. Hit the spanner at the bottom of the screen. And we're going to refuel the hydrogen. So 40 AUEC, not a problem. Repair, 50 AUEC. So at the top we have repair, probably because we ended up on our roof, so tap that as well. Hit the cross in the corner. Repair in progress, do not lift off. Okay, cool. Press and hold Y for Yankee. We'll get us out of our seat. And then open the door. So we will exit the ship. And then just walk out, rather than wait for the ladder to come down. That just means that the ladder will come down and go up and the door will close. If we just opened the door and walked out, then, well, the door would remain open. But we do need to put our ship away. That is super important, so that's what we're going to do. Go and grab the elevator, which is click on the elevator using F and left mouse button. Then we're going to go to the lobby. If we wanted to go elsewhere, we could use the mouse wheel to scroll while holding F. Unfortunately, scrolling up means zooming in, but we're just going to go to the lobby. There is a doors button if you just wanted to open the doors, that's at the bottom. But it is very important to put your ship away. ASOP terminals drawer, this person has no clothes on. So press F, click on the ASOP terminal.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Origin 300i, store. If you were selling material out of your ship, you still store your ship because it could get exploded on the landing pad. Never leave your ship on the landing pad, it could explode. Moving to storage, it might take a while. It has been slow this evening. So I'm going to just assume that that's going to be okay. Everything's okay. The only thing that's in there is a soda, so I'm going to hit escape.
Please visit us again.
And leave that. Food and water should be okay. We don't need to get any more food. And oh, what was that over there? Oh, that's an actual player ship. It looks like a Cutlass Black. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, that's just a basic mission. So that's how to get a mission, how to navigate to it, complete it, and apparently write yourself if you get exploded. The box delivery missions are very useful if you're new to the game because you have to navigate to planets, you have to land, you have to get out of your ship, and sometimes things happen. So refueling, repairing, it's worth doing a few delivery missions just to get used to flying without stuffing your ship into the ground, or going and doing things like bounty hunter missions, which I think we can look at some point. So if you like these videos, definitely leave a little like, leave a little subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you want notifications, dingle the bingle. If you don't want notifications, don't click the bell. And I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time.